Yeah, it was really filthy, dirty. We took it in there and cut it off with the bandsaw and used a little oil, and there's oil in there. Just heat's just pulling it out between the shaft, and I'm sure that's good enough for what it's going to be. You know, I didn't use any fill wire. I just fused it all together. Got a good puddle, and you know, just kept pushing it into itself, and you know, and that's the key hole that's filled. I could go around it and fill it, but if this was a customer job, yeah, I would have took it apart, cleaned everything, got it all. But yeah, I see a lot of guys, you know, acetone and everything. I mean, I guess that's a proper way to get a nice, really good weld. But honestly, you know, I've been TIG welding for years, and I have never used acetone on anything. You know, and I still get, I mean, I don't build I don't weld for looks, you know, like a lot of people do. So, hell, just fusing it together is usually, it's just, it's low, but that thing will, I mean, hotter than crap. I did both sides. That low spot right there is the keyhole. But that'll work. Just make little tiny circles, you know, melting each piece down, and then you shove it back into itself to make its own puddle. And yeah, I can understand fill wire, but I don't have any real small fill wire. I think the smallest thing I have is 3/32, you know, and that would have just made a mess, and I would have had to grind it all off. So okay, I'm gonna put that in the lathe, bore that 18mm hole in it. I got a 11/16 bit, and that is about 70 thousandths under 18mm. I should be able to get bypass edge off of it. There's some tape residue still on this shaft, because it's real gummy. It'll go on. Just I'm pushing it, you see the tape crap on it. All right, good deal. Now I'll drill that hole through the shaft so I can get that on and get this project done. Here's my little setup that I have my camera mounted on. Made that little piece and had this little speaker or microphone stand, and then I bought this light, and it really helps. And then the camera mounts right here on the deal. Right now it's just on a mag base. All right, I got that done. I just took it over to the mill, and I took a 1.25 inch 5/16 bolt, cut the head off, cut a little slot in it for a screwdriver. I put this up into my drill chuck with this screwed in to align it. Just put that in the chuck, and then I brought it down into the vise. Shined light behind there, and brought the non-moving jaw up to the vise, and then wiggled it until I didn't feel it wiggle anymore. Tightened it down, took the chuck off, took this out, and then put the cording thread bit into it. Drilled it, tapped it, and I should be ready to, this will go down through all of it, and that should go on there, and then that'll slot into the key slot. There is a few little tight spots in it, but yeah, there we go. I should probably have taken the threads off of that a little bit, but I think that's in there pretty good. I mean, I can see it, it's ran all the way down into the key slot, tightened up. And I cut the head off because it was going to interfere with the chain, so I cut that off. Got a little burr on that one. Good enough. And so now, to get this thing, make some kind of mount. Man, so much crap in the way. I guess I'll get some blocks out because I want this thing up here. And then I got play in the shaft here. I got about a ½ inch here I can move, so I can get, I'll start measuring up to make a mount, get my bolt pattern off the motor, so I can put those into CAD and make a mount plate. I'll just get it cribbed up on plywood or some blocks of wood and stuff for now, and clean my mess up, make it so I can get some room to work. All right quick, we got the AutoCAD. I made a guard. I rough measured what I had set up over there, kind of how I'm going to do it, the mount, the motor. I just slot the holes this way. On the motor mount, they're slotted the other way, so that's going to give me all kinds of movement this way and this way to set the motor, so it doesn't have to be too critical on where I weld this to the channel iron on the slip roll. And then these here are just to fill in the gaps, the thickness of the channel that are going to go around. There's going to be one attached to the channel here, come down, and then one across here. This is going to stay open so I can get to the bolts, and then another one's going to go from here up. So, if I need be, I can cut a little piece for here. No problem later. I mean, it's all going to be 1/4 inch plates. So it's going to be rigid as shit. So, got that done. Saved it as a DXF. Opened it back up in SheetCam. And then I did all the layers, so it should cut these holes first, and they're going to be an inside offset. And then all the red is an outside offset. This here. I'll move that up. Operation plasma cut. Got set to outside. Got my lead ins, 1/4 inch plate. Hit OK. There's all that. So it'll cut this hole first, second, third, fourth. And it'll cut these and then cut this big piece out. Post process that. I have one file I keep, and then if I'm not going to keep this, if it's a one-time thing, I have a file that I just dump everything into and then replace it. Hit yes, okay. Go back up here. I load my G-code. It's the same file. And there she is. Settings. There. All the tool paths and everything. I already have the table on and zeroed out, so there's the corner of my sheet down here. So it's ready to hit the go button. Go back to here. That 1/4 inch plate should be, that's what I was cutting before, so it should be cutting about 20 to 21 inches per minute. And we'll hit the go button and make sure everything's going to work. It's got an old consumable in it, so I'll probably have quite a bit of cleanup to do on it. Air's on, ground down, should be good. Okay, here's I got everything stacked together like a deck of cards here, so there's nothing tacked, but I was just real gentle on putting everything down. But, motor's gonna line up, mounts, you can see how the holes are slotted, so I can move the motor towards me or away, and then it'll also pull back to put tension on the chain. See if I can get this lifted off without knocking the dominoes off. But yeah, see, that's how that's gonna be. And I got that side open so I can get in here to these bolts, fasteners. That one's gonna be run that way to gusset that. So it'll be welded up, over, and back down. Got this piece on the side here and another piece on the side there that's going to weld to that channel. All right, fast forward about 3 hours. Got that piece, while it was up there and held in place, I put little tacks on it around the outside of it. I'll go handheld here. Just tacked it all together on the outside through there, and then I took it out, flipped it over, and it's all stitch welded on the inside. All this is all stitch welded. The back piece, everything's welded from the inside. Then I took a grinder, my polished buffing wheel or sandpaper wheel, and went over these welds here. I'm going to leave that as is. It was starting to move, so I just stopped. And then I put it up against there and Around big old, I took my grinder and dug that out real good, and it's pretty deep. So the vertical up there and across there and down the other side. Can't see. Went ahead and cut my chain. Here's my chain brake. Got that apart. Put a link in it. It's not tight, but I think it's going to be tight enough. You really don't want these rubber band tight, because that just puts pressure on the bushings in your gearbox, because you're actually pulling on it. So, right now it's going to be pulling down. You know how they work. But get the pedal all wired back up, and now we're running about half the speed it was before. I still like it to be a little slower. Maybe someday if I come across to maybe around a 50 tooth or something like that, or I'll go smaller on the drive, and that way I don't have to put a longer chain on it. I can put a smaller sprocket on and then just shorten it a link or two, and then I have plenty of adjustment. I'm like, you can see the hole here, so I got probably 3/8 of an inch I can move forward, and then I got all this that I can move back, and then the adjustment here is about close, and then I have adjustment on the shaft too, so I can move the shaft. So I got adjustment everywhere. That's why I wasn't really concerned where I put the holes. So I could bump that in on the shaft another 1/2 inch and move it over, take it out. I mean, yeah, it works. It's in there. Good deal. All right, so probably call that the video here. I'm going to do a guard, so we'll do that in the next video, and then all this mess of wiring, we'll clean all that up and put a new switch, a kill switch on it, and keep the foot pedal somewhere where will reach the ground, and somewhere, clean up the wiring quite a bit, and we'll do that next video and make the guard. So it's going to be a lot of CAD drawings, so I don't know how boring that'll get. We'll get it done next week or in the next video. You know me, I put out a video about like the seasons change. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by the shop, and we'll see you in the next video.